So silver has never been quite so popular, and these group purchases have also been incredibly popular over this last couple of months. Let me tell you, the European Mint certainly do a very good job at wrapping these boxes. They are very, very secure. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and welcome to another epic unboxing video of a very large pile of silver. We've got a lot to crack on with, so I'm going to get started by chopping this box open, which we have taken delivery of from the European Mint. Now, as I have said in all of these big unboxing videos before, these silver coins and items in here are not all mine. I wish I was able to unbox a huge pile of silver like this every month, but sadly this is part of a group purchase that people have joined in with to get silver from the European Mint at discounted shipping prices. So a big thank you to everybody who has been involved, because it does help our channel get cool content creation here on YouTube. And we have a big pile of silver inside this box. It's never been as popular. There's so many different media outlets talking about silver. It's certainly hit more of a mainstream over this last couple of certainly months, and you know, this whole summer, this 2020 crazy year that we've been experiencing has definitely caused people to take notice of this wonderful shiny metal that we all know and love here on the channel. How long will that be sustainable for is the question. There's a couple of things that could go wrong. Of course, prices are the thing that dictate all of this and the uncertainty of the world right now. And it is definitely arguable that silver is going to go up even further from where it is right now, and or potentially even go down again. Now this is, yeah, it's the same thing with it in a back-to-back box, so I need to flip this around and we need to slice into the other side. Now I am expecting, as you might be able to hear, in fact, a bit difficult to hear, but there are some silver casting granules in this box, so I'm suspecting that they're on this side. So silver has never been quite so popular, and these group purchases have also been incredibly popular over this last couple of months. Let me tell you, the European Mint certainly do a very good job at wrapping these boxes. They are very, very secure, let me tell you, which is a good thing. That's what you want from a dealer, but when you're trying to unbox this on camera, it can be a little bit of a mission. So where are things going to go with silver prices? Nobody really knows. I've talked about that countless times over the last couple of weeks, so I kind of want to avoid any kind of speculations or, you know, potential price points that are going to be coming up. But there are a few crunch points which I do want to address in today's video. That's the silver casting grain. We've got bucket level membership from the European Mint. Very, very cool indeed. So last little bit coming out, and then we can get some shiny things out on the table. I think that's everything from the big box, which we shall put on the floor. So you know, the one thing that I do want to talk about is the future of purchasing silver from places like the European Mint, because it's not guaranteed to be available to us after December. We have a thing called Brexit, and Brexit is happening. Brexit has already happened, as a lot of people have pointed out, but nothing actually changed because we were all still on the transition period. But come end of December, these avenues by which we can get decent price silver, in my opinion, from European dealers will potentially close, and there's no real kind of indication at this point whether there will be a continuation of free movement of goods, and it's in fact looking more quite likely that that will not be the case. So it's very, very up in the air right now as to where things will be and how potentially UK investors will get hold of their silver. And there has been quite a lot of people talking about this is it. This is the last few months, and we've been seeing and saying that for the last couple of years now, with all of the Brexit delays and you know, transition period talk and everything. But it does look like finally that D-Day or I should say S-Day, Silver Day, is coming, and at some point in the not too distant future, silver investing in the UK will radically change. Now that could have some really interesting implications for the prices of silver. So for those who don't really know what I'm talking about, in the UK we have to pay VAT taxes on silver purchases when we buy from a dealer or from somewhere like the Royal Mint. The only times that you don't are when you have small businesses which are, like myself, small enough to be underneath the compulsory registration threshold for taxes, for VAT specifically. Or you buy second-hand from businesses that have set up a specific what's called margin scheme, which is not very common, and also it means that you're not usually going to be getting the latest releases. You'll probably be getting second-hand, old, milky, not quite so nice coins, which is still potentially a thing that can happen. But ultimately, that is all going to fuel, in my opinion anyway, a big spike, almost overnight in fact, in the sort of value of second-hand silver, because at the moment, with spot prices being where they are, which arguably could change before this video goes live, but you can buy silver like this from the European Mint, brand new government silver, released and delivered for approximately £27 an ounce, which is not an absurd price. It's certainly a lot better than if you were buying directly from either a UK dealer or from directly from the Royal Mint, where you have to pay taxes and VAT. And I've seen some dealers and some more expensive coin sellers selling simple Britannias at 37, 40 pounds an ounce, which is just not really a sustainable thing for people to make a return on. But in the new post-2020 Brexit world, we could very easily see, silver coins being hiked on a second-hand market for the same prices that these new avenues would cost. So your £27 an ounce silver Britannias that you bought from the European Mint at the end of 2020, suddenly overnight, the cheapest Britannia anybody else can buy on the market is, £35, including taxes. So you can get away with undercutting that and still make a profit. So there's sort of a really interesting quandary here. Got some gold this time, by the way, from the European Mint. Very exciting. One of my favourite coins of all time. Almost sad to see that go on to its new owner. But anyway, more on that in a little bit. So yeah, my point is that we are entering, I think, into a little bit of an interesting period where there's definitely a lot of people out there who think that there's going to be some potential gains to be had on relatively short-term flipping, stocking up, getting all of this stuff in place before that Brexit transition period ends, and then what will happen to the price of silver. Now, for me, it's a kind of a double-edged sword, really, because that's also going to shut off potential purchasing of what's in my big bucket over here, silver casting grain. And that, of course, is going to have an impact on my business, and whether or not we need to think about down the line, I really don't want to do this, let me tell you, it's not a fun thing, but registering for VAT ourselves so that we can get silver casting grain at that cheaper price, because we can claim the VAT back. But then that means passing on basically VAT on the raw material to customers, which is not a good thing in my mind. So we are definitely at an interesting crossroads as it looks for not only the Backyard Bullion business, but also for, I think, just generally where silver investing is going to be for us in the UK. So I hope that gives you all a little bit of an insight into the sort of thought processes for, a lot of people here in the United Kingdom. And I think that that's one of the reasons why these group purchases have been quite so popular over this last couple of months. In fact, they've been so popular that one thing that we have done is we've suspended the code at the moment. So if you are watching this and you're thinking, yes, I really want to get some of that, I want to get some silver and I want to get it from the European Mint as part of these orders. At the moment, we have not got an open code. We are looking to open one up in October, so not too far away, which will be the last swan song before the end of the transition period. And I am anticipating that to be quite the popular order, and it's probably going to be a pretty large pile of silver to be unboxed. So consequently, we want to clear the decks. We want to make sure that all of the orders that people have been placing are done, are processed, are sent out. One of the things that is very frustrating in this 2020 world we live in, that sometimes there can be unforeseen delays, and there were a few with this batch of silver here, and I want to say a thank you to the people that were involved with those delays, who've been exceptionally patient over this last couple of weeks, waiting for this delivery. You know, my sincere apologies go out to you that it took longer than expected, but we have got it here now. It is part of the process, but because of the potential for delays, you know, in the future, we do want to make sure that we've cleared the decks and get everybody sorted out first before we then go and open up something which is going to be the last order probably, which is kind of sad because in a way, I love and hate these. Another piece of gold, look at that, 1 ounce gold Britannia, lovely. I do love and hate these group orders. You know, I say hate in a good way. They're very laborious and very stressful to organise. And gosh, I love all of you out there who get involved with these, and I love all of you who you know, are involved via the Silver Forum. But at the best of times, it's like herding cats, to put it politely. You guys can and do sometimes test patience for lack of reading skills. A lot of people don't tend to read emails very well, but ultimately I do love still doing them. Unboxing very, very big piles of silver like this is a real treat, and it's something that has helped our channel immeasurably over this last couple of years of doing them. And you know, I want to say thank you to everybody who has kind of joined in over this last couple of years in the build up to our what will probably be the last one ever, unless there's some future trade agreements or avenues by which we can still facilitate group purchases like this. It's gonna probably be one of the last opportunities in October for you guys to get involved with things like this, and I mean, that's kind of sad. You know, it is what it is. I think that there are going to be some interesting, you know, things to explore. I'm sure there'll be some companies out there that will find some kind of loophole. It's always an interesting one, isn't it? If you find a loophole, the moral kind of implications of going through a loophole to try and get cheap silver. And some people have even suggested, you know, maybe why don't you just fly over to Estonia and bring everything back in a big suitcase? You've done that before. Well, that's fine and dandy to do right now because we are all on a transition period still. But ultimately, if you're doing that specifically to avoid import taxes, which would be due on certain things, that's that's smuggling. And that's not a good thing to be involved with, let alone publicising that you're doing it out on YouTube. So from you know, the future's perspective, nobody really knows where things will be with you know, European Mint group orders or any purchases from European dealers. I personally am hoping that at some point we'll have you know, a decent trade agreement in place with the European Union, such as which we can get goods moved into the UK at low tariffs or zero tariffs. I think for the UK to have huge import taxes placed on goods coming in from Europe is actually going to be a pretty bad mistake. I mean, there's going to be so many differing opinions on Brexit and on what you know, what you think should happen with Brexit, and I really don't want this to turn into a kind of Brexit debate, Brexit argument. There's a big pile of silver casting grain, look at that. I don't want it to become that kind of video. Ultimately, you know, it's going to be down to what, you know, is possible between the European Union and the UK. And I hope that there will be some kind of agreement in place at some point, because it would really, I think, spite... it's like cutting your nose to spite your face, I think, for a lot of UK businesses. Oh, love me some silver casting grain. This stuff is always really nice to pour with. So yeah, you know, in terms of the future, who knows, but there probably will be some other things going on at some point in the future. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all turns out. But ultimately, it's going to be down to, you know, what we see coming out from these trade negotiations, and we'll just keep an eye on it, keep you guys updated as best we can. For the time being, here is the big pile of silver, and I'm really, really happy with the way that it, you know, this group order's gone. We've got a really nice big pile of silver to showcase for you here. I'm going to tidy it up a little bit and we'll show you what it all looks like in just a moment. We're going to do this all in one video today, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second. Okay, so here we have the pile of silver slightly better arranged. It's predominantly Royal Mint stuff, I have to say. We've got a huge amount of Britannias at the back here. Some of these tubes have Queen's Beasties in it, and some of them have Royal Arms coins, which is a really, really nice coin actually that has warmed on me an awful lot over this last year and a bit of seeing it in these group orders and more. It's a very elegant design actually, and one that's really nice. So it's good to see that there's a fair amount of them being picked up. But Royal Mint certainly holds the crown in this particular order, and I suspect they will for future orders as well. Not only in Britannia form, but also the Queen's Beast. There's some 2-ounce Queen's Beasties in there as well. There's a couple of loose ones out here in little plastic baggies. The Bodybuilder of Mortimer, and I suspect in the next one the White Greyhound of Richmond will be well represented as well. That one I think will be able to be included in the next order come mid-October. 10 ounces, we've got two of the different designs of the 10-ounce Queen's Beasties, the Yale of Beaufort and the Falcon of the Plantagenets, both very cool in their own rights. I absolutely love these 10-ounce drinks coasters of coins. They are fantastic, very, very nice indeed. One from last order as well, which was an exceptionally popular one from all of you guys in the comment section, was this lion. Absolutely beautiful. Just look at the background design on that. So, so nice. Queen's head on this side as well. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. We've got the new double Picsou coin, which I'm not a huge fan of, I have to say. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but it's just not for me in terms of the design and aesthetics of it. But that's been included in this order. We've got also some Perth Mint represented in the Kookaburra here. There's a few others laying around in this pile of silver. Got some kangaroos, which are always very nice. I do like the Australian kangaroos. I remember back when I got started pouring silver that I actually had a big batch of them to melt. They are really nice. If we can get the camera to focus, there we go. They're really nice coins, these kangaroos, and they do pour into very nice hand poured silver. But I use silver shot now mostly for my poured silver. Oh, this little box is heavy, let me tell you. I'm going to put that down just for a second before I drop it. So yeah, lots of silver shot in here for my poured silver business, which is really good. Also some gold, which is nice to see. You don't often see a great deal of gold being bought through places like the European Mint, just simply because it can be as cheap or cheaper to buy it from a UK dealer and get it sort of delivered immediately. But sometimes if you do the calculations on the exchange rates, if the exchange rates are just right, or if you've got euros sat there waiting to be used, it can be a good place to buy gold as well. And somebody's pipped for one of my favourite coins of all time, the 50 pesos gold there, and also a 2020 1-ounce gold Britannia. Very, very nice coin indeed. So that basically is the roundup of it. There's a few other little things in here that we have seen. The triangular coin, there's one of those, I believe. There's this is an interesting one. This is the do you know, I can't remember what design this was. I'm gonna have to look it up on my spreadsheet as to what it was, but it's certainly very cool. Is it the do you know, I can't remember. I'm not even going to try and hypothesize. If somebody knows, comment down below which coin this is. It's really very attractive, I have to say. Beyond all of those, I think that's pretty much the tour de force of this particular batch of silver. I'm sure I probably missed a couple of the really cool pieces in here. But otherwise, that's kind of it for this big unboxing extravaganza. All of this silver will be sent out by the time this video goes live. So a big thank you to everybody who has joined in on these group orders. If you are interested in joining in future group orders, we will be doing them, but they will probably not be open until mid-October, and it will be one last swan song of an order. And then we'll see how things pan out with the Brexit process. So lots to think about, lots to consider as purchases of silver coming up in the next couple of months. And I hope this video has in some way enlightened you all as to how things might be and how things maybe should be looked at from our perspective of purchasing. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed us rambling about silver as we unbox it from a giant box, then please let YouTube know by putting a thumbs up on it. And a big thank you to everybody who's joined in the live chat premiere that we've been doing. I often do this and it's a great way to interact with all of you, so a big thank you to all of you for your support in the live chat. It's always fun to see what you think and talk about. So beyond that, have a fantastic week ahead. I'm just going to sit here and be Scrooge McDuck and play with my silver shot. I absolutely love this. Have a great weekend. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.